Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Monday. How's everybody doing? I'm doing okay. This dip in the market was not unexpected, and it is time to buy some more crypto. At least that's what I just did about a little over half an hour ago. My limit order hit at 749 because I was watching the charts over the weekend. We had one dip that came down here on Saturday night that came out to 7.5, and then it came back up and retested 8 cents. So I was like, you know what? When it started trading back down again, I was like, I'll set a limit order, get some more Doge, and if it dips below 7.5, I'll take it. And it just hit about an hour ago, 7.49. I'm buying more Doge. Now, I'm not telling you guys what to do, but we're going to be talking tonight about Dogecoin as currency and why I'm buying Doge as currency and what could be happening next year, 2024, for Dogecoin as currency. And we'll also talk about like who else is accepting Doge and how sort of that acceptance could snowball into a much wider group of companies that will begin accepting Dogecoin as well. So let me drop down here into the corner. We can look at the charts and see what's going on. 746 right now. This is a 2-hour chart. And the reason I show the 2-hour chart here tonight is because we want to do some comparisons based on, you can see sort of some of the run-ups, right? Because we had Doge sitting below 7 cents here on 5 November. So that's just a little over a week ago. We were trying to get above 7 cents. That wasn't too long ago. And then all this excitement about, spot Bitcoin ETFs and, all this other stuff that's all like pro crypto. Doge went on a nice double run, really came up over 7.5. That was a target we had. Came back, retested back down to 7, and then up to 8.2, which we had talked about on Friday. This run up to 8.2. And then came back and retested 7.5. So that trading of Dogecoin is not unexpected. And if we look at Bitcoin and what Bitcoin's been doing for just a second here, here's Bitcoin hanging out at 36.5. It made a run toward 38, touched it once here last Thursday. We talked about that on Friday night. But if you zoom out on Bitcoin, you see since this run up right up here, this run up that we had, and this was on 23 October, of Bitcoin running up from 29K up to touching 35 and then trading for 2 solid weeks, sort of in this range, 34 to 35K. And then finally on Tuesday, so just a week ago, traded up above, came up and touched 38. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin come down and retest 35 based on this trading. Bitcoin traded in this zone for a couple weeks, came up, it can come back and retest. And when it does, what we normally see is altcoins drop a little more. And that's what we have happening tonight. Bitcoin is down 1.4%. Doge is down 4%. Now, Ethereum would normally stay pretty close to Bitcoin, but Ethereum went on a little run today. Now, it's not really huge, right? The 2-hour candle's not big, but here we had last week, Ethereum going on this first run to get up over 2,000, came up over 21K. But again, a little earlier this morning, Ethereum went on a little run, which was enough to keep it from being down where Bitcoin is. So because ETH, the second largest cryptocurrency, decided to go on a little run this morning and now is retracing back, the Bitcoin dominance, which you would expect, right? Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin down 1.4%, Doge down 4%, Algorand down 7%, Sol 6%, Cardano 6%, Hedera down 4%, Sheep down 3%, Harmony down 6%, Litecoin down 4%. You get the picture. All these other altcoins, just about, with some exceptions, which we'll talk about through the stream, have dropped further over the last hour and a half in this retracement that's happening right now. So you'd expect Bitcoin dominance then to be going up, right? Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin is not dropping as far as other altcoins, and we've seen that many times. Well, no, Bitcoin dominance is still down here. And that is mostly because of ETH and what Ethereum is doing at trading. So ETH stays up, Bitcoin goes down a little bit, Bitcoin dominance, it's going to stay down. It's not going to go back up. So that kind of trading that we're seeing that's happening now, yeah, that's all right. That's okay. Could we see more dips? Yes. Could we see deeper dips? Yes. This is crypto trading after all. And going forward, we could see Doge come and retest 7 cents maybe. We could see some of these altcoins come down and retest. Solana just went on this huge run. Wouldn't be surprised if Solana went on some big dips. Kind of overbought the Solana. And I still am not completely sure about the whole, like who all is buying Solana, right? That seemed a little bit strange to me. But anyway, how are you guys doing? Phil says, load up, year of the dog. Yes, and we will be talking about that as we roll into 2024, because that is going to be huge. Hola, Alexandra. Hazanargo, hope I pronounced that right. Hi. Joke Smoke. Hello. The 12 ETF, if they all get approved, do you think trillions will be flooded in the market, causing parabolic rise? And of course, Jason says, mic drop moment. I think it'll be more gradual than that. I think there's going to be some hype. I think a lot of it is already kind of bought into the markets. There's been this buildup here we've had for the last couple of weeks, which is the, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So where everyone's buying the rumor, spot ETFs are going to be approved again. I've been saying January, which is why I think 2024 is going to be a great year, partially because of that. We got Doge 1 mission, hopefully in January as well, and then other things we'll talk about in a bit. But all of that is going to be 2024. Right now, we're seeing this run up with all of this anticipation of what's going to happen. That's the buy the rumor, right? Well, when they get approved, is everything already overbought and we're going to see a dump in the market? We have seen that before on many occasions. Even Doge has had kind of its own moments like that. The hype up to like Doge Day back in 2021, Doge was climbing, and everyone was going to celebrate, and Doge just dumped on that day. We've seen those things before. That's just trading. That's what happens. If you are in it for a long term and you're not trading day by day, you just brush it off, right? That's just what crypto does, right? If your long goal is set like mine is, again, just looking at the 4-year cycles and where the whole crypto market could go in 2024 into 2025, and that's what I have been investing on this year, is all based on that premise. If the crypto market decides to do the exact opposite and say, no, we're not going to do the 4-year cycle anymore, this is as high as you go, Bitcoin 36K, and it's going to go down from here because of some other event or something that happens, that would break the 4-year cycles. I will be out a lot of money personally if that happens. But I'm betting big on a continuation of the 4-year cycle, the Bitcoin halving, and this time, a lot of institutions buying into cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin. And even some are saying we could have a super cycle this next go around, right? This could have been the bear market. We come out to a bull. Because we have all these institutions coming in, we could start to see, instead of these big meteoric rises, we could see slow, steady rise that continues. And we don't get a bear market in 2026, 2027. Wouldn't that be something? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right now, we've got more of what's at hand, what's going on right now. Yes, Barry did that on Saturday Night Live Day on May 8th, 2021. That was shorting. That was a heavy short that Barry and his buddies, they opened up and dropped the price because they all saw that Dogecoin was well overbought. It was all buy the rumor, sell the news, but they were already, the price was dropping because they were dumping tons of Doge that they borrowed from the FTX exchange. This was all on FTX that started it, which is kind of ironic because the downfall of FTX is now leading to Barry Silbert and DCG being in a lot of trouble financially. I think it's kind of ironic, but I'm not doing that kind of game. I'm just investing. I'm holding. I did a little swing trading earlier this year. Most of it came out pretty well, but I stopped doing that about mid-year. And that's when we started the Kriss DCA portfolio because I was like, that's the bottom. And I hit that pretty well with the bottom, scooping up a lot of Dogecoin at 5.88 cents, right? That was pretty good. So going forward, I'm betting big on crypto following the 4-year cycles. And a year from now, when we're seeing all of these gains and maybe possibly a huge run for Dogecoin a year from now, then we'll start talking about scalping some profits, right? Taking off a little bit here and there and all of that stuff. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're going to talk today about why I'm still buying Dogecoin. And we'll talk about other cryptocurrencies too. Jason says, I call those pump and dumps speed bumps. Speed bumps in the road. That's a good one. Phil says, might sell my Sol and put it in Doge. You know, no shame in taking some profits. Solana went on a 4x run. Just a 4x run. Just unbelievable trading for Solana. Still up over $50. And we zoom out just a little bit and we see that like right back here. And when was this? October 15th. That was 1 month ago. You could have bought Solana at $21. Just 1 month ago. $21. So, no shame in selling. No shame in selling. If you bought it less than $20 and you sell, maybe not all of it, right? Maybe sell half of it, right? Just people always think about, oh, just sell it all. Why not just take half, right? Collect your profits. And then anything else that Solana does from this point on is free money. It's free money because you took half of it in profit. So the rest is just free. And then put it in something that hasn't spiked yet. Like Doge eventually will. Not today, not tomorrow, but eventually. I don't know. Your call. But that's not bad to think about those things. War Mentor bought yesterday a little bit of Doge. My first crypto. Big applause. Big applause here for War Mentor, everybody. Woohoo! There are many of us where Dogecoin was our first cryptocurrency we bought. And this is one thing that the Bitcoin maxis don't get, right? They're just all like, they hate Doge, completely hate it. But you know what? How many people came in and Dogecoin was the first crypto they bought, but eventually they bought some Bitcoin too. I'm just saying, it helps all of crypto when people buy Doge. It helps all of crypto. Now, there's some of you that you've only bought Doge. You're not going to buy any other cryptocurrency. You're all in on Doge. That's okay too. But I would bet once War Mentor gets a little more knowledge about different blockchains and smart contracts and maybe gaming and other things that are done in different areas of cryptocurrency, you start to diversify as you buy more. That's what I've done. I talk a lot about that on this channel. I'm more into Doge than anything else, but I do have a number of other cryptocurrencies that I have bought, as well as the Kriss DCA portfolio is not all Doge. Right now, look at it, it's still up 25%, despite the dip. The whole portfolio is up 25%, but we've got some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some XRP, some Algorand, some Jasmy, some Litecoin. That's pretty good. So we're almost half Doge. We were at about 50%, but some of these have outperformed Doge. Like Algorand is up 36%. Jasmy is up 47%. Render is up 62%. And now our Matic is up 43%. All of those have outperformed Dogecoin from when we bought all of our Doge. But that's okay. That's part of investing. So if you diversify, the other part about that I enjoy is when one of your other coins starts spiking up while the rest of crypto is kind of going sideways or even going down, you still feel kind of good about yourself. Like, yeah, I got that one too. I believe in that one. So, and one of them that I've talked to you guys before about, which I know is not in anybody's wheelhouse here, but it's one that I bought into, was Yearn Finance. Again, this was outside of the top 100. I selected some crypto projects that I thought could do well. Fetch AI was one of them to get into the AI game, but I also bought into Yearn Finance. And look at what Yearn Finance has done since last week. Just a huge run. Almost doubled in price in a week. So that was a long time coming for Yearn. That was a long time coming. But, you know, some of these are like, woohoo, it's about time. And it makes you feel good about yourself because you do your research, you think it's a good investment, and then that investment eventually pays off, and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I feel good about that. But for Doge right now, $7.49, that's right where I bought it. And looks like we're making a run back up over 7.5. So we'll zoom in on the 15-minute chart here. We'll watch this while we're talking about other stuff. So let me finish up here in the chat here. Clemens, good to see you. Big supporter of the other channel. Yep. We entered the market a few weeks back. Big Doge position for Clemens. Welcome back to the market, Clemens. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. We're having fun and trying to make money. And that's what we're about here. I just tell you what I'm doing, and I keep you up on the news, and I give it a little bit of a different point of view than you'll get from other people, and try and keep it real. So that's what we do here. Curtis, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. War Mentor, literally one day into this. Thanks for tutorials, using the links, referrals. Thank you very much. Don't know what platform you bought it on, but I do have links for Robinhood and Coinbase. That's what I mainly buy my cryptocurrency on. I got rid of Binance.us because in the United States, they stopped allowing you to transfer US dollars onto the platform or off the platform. So I stopped and I removed that. And I still have a Webull link as well for those that want to look at stock and crypto trading on your phone. Webull has a really great app with really great charts for an app on your phone. It's much better than Robinhood, but anyway, that's if you're interested in that, I have a link for that as well. And then my other affiliate link I have here is the Ledger. If you're interested in hardware wallets, about every week we talk more about hardware wallets and why it's important to to have your seed phrase written down on a piece of paper somewhere. Do not put it in your notes in your phone or anything like that. Don't do that. Write it down. There was just another story over the weekend of someone who was using some private like password manager or something on their phone, and they put their seed phrase in it. I'm just saying, don't do that. Do not do that. Write it down on a piece of paper and put that piece of paper somewhere safe. That's what you do. So, do I think this is the bottom price? No, I don't. I think we're going to see another dip, and it could be lower than where we are now. But I bought at 749. And if there's another dip down, I'll buy some more. That's what I'm doing. Vamps. I do not swing trade Doge anymore. I used to. I used to swing trade, and I got out of that business because, I mean, I made some money on swing trades. I also missed out on some runs back in 2021 that I don't want to miss out on again. And I think we're getting too close to the point where Doge can go on a big run where it's not coming back. So, target price to sell at right now, 35 cents is my first target, where I might skim a little profit, but that's like almost a 5x from here. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. Where does that come from? You probably will ask. And we'll go to the weekly chart, and I'll show you. There's my yellow line there is 35 cents. That is where in August of 2021, Dogecoin traded up and hit 35 cents, came back down, and then in October of 2021 came up again to 35 cents and came back down. I equate that to 69K for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's all-time high came in November of 2021. If Doge can trade back up to 35 cents, I'm going to take a little profit. I think fairly certainly that Doge will trade higher than 35 cents, particularly a year from now, if we get Elon and Twitter to have Dogecoin as a payment on the platform. Doge could trade much higher, but we don't know how that's actually going to happen. It could be a slow rollout like Elon does on many things. So yeah, I'm not swing trading. I'm going to be scalping some profits here and there, but 35 cents is my first target of layering out. That's where I am right now. So that's what is going on there. Since you asked, let me do a few more comments in the chat, and then I'll get to the news and what is going on. Zippy says, I think the days of 6 cents are gone. We could, if there's a big dip in Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes down and retests like 32K or 30K, we could see Doge in the sixes again. Again, just that can happen. So War Mentor says used Coinbase, couldn't use Binance, right? Now I'm trying to figure out how to transfer from Coinbase to Exodus. Yes, I own Exodus wallet as well. I do it just on a computer. I do not have the Exodus app on my phone. I do everything on a PC, and I do it on a separate computer because I just don't want any funny business going on with my Exodus wallet. And that's where I stake some other cryptos. My Algorand is on there and it's staked, and my VeChain is on there and it's staked. So Exodus is a good wallet. I highly recommend only do it on a personal computer and not on like an everyday laptop that you use, like opening your email and things like that. Again, my recommendation to stay safe, again, write down your seed phrase on a piece of paper, keep that somewhere safe, and you'll be fine with Exodus. When I've heard from other people that have had problems with Exodus, it's because they clicked on a link that they shouldn't have clicked on their email, right? That automatically opened up some website or some some virus file and someone got into their system and they weren't using two-factor authentication, so they were able to get into the Exodus and then clean it out. So be careful. Be careful out there. That's what I say. Doge 1 rocket launch is still the week of January 16th right now. Until I hear anything different, that'll be it. We'll be checking in back in on that on December and see what's going on with that. But right now it's tentatively the week of January 16th. Jason doesn't think we'll be seeing 6 cents again. Well, imagine never seeing. That would be awesome. I'll take that. But if it goes back down there, I'm buying more, even more. So once you take profit at 35 cents, would you again buy back down, or you don't re-enter? You plan to sell at $1. What I'm going to be doing is at those prices, like almost a 5x from here. Well, it's a 35 cents would be a 5x overall from my overall Doge portfolio, which is under a 7-cent average. Because my first Doge I bought was at 2 cents. So my overall average is less than 7 cents. If I sold it all at 35, then that would be a 5 times profit, which would far outpace what inflation, right, is doing since I first started in 2021. So I'll take that as a win, but also it's more than what you would get investing, right, into stocks, let's say 10% a year, much more than that. So that's a win. But I'm not going to sell it all because, like you're saying $1, and I'm thinking, yeah, Doge could go on a crazy run like that. So I'm not going to sell it all. I'm going to take some, and then that is just, it's going to be cash. I'm not going to be putting it back in. It depends on when that happens. If Bitcoin is still looking like it's going to go on a run, I may rotate it into Bitcoin. I don't know yet. Depends on when that happens. It may just go to cash. When 10 cents, I got wrecked today. You only get wrecked if you sold, or if you were like trading on leverage, which I know some of you do. Look at this chart. Where is this? Boom. This is the liquidation heat map for today. And see everything in green here? That means that all of these liquidations were those that were buying on leverage in long positions and got liquidated when crypto dropped about an hour, 2 hours to an hour ago. These are the liquidations. $7 million in Bitcoin. Gone. Doge, $750,000 in Doge longs. Liquidated. If you were watching Ben Armstrong today, he admitted that he had a 100x leverage position. 100x leverage position that got liquidated. Just like, Ben, what are you doing? He admitted it though, which was good of him, just to let people know how crazy it was. And I typed in the chat, I was just like, 100x, jeez. It's like, everyone, it's like gambling, right? Every once in a while, you're going to make a big win and you're going to be like, woohoo, I won. But how many times are you going to lose? You don't know what's going on in this market, especially crypto. And I wouldn't be surprised if the exchange that Ben did that 100x long leverage trade on didn't see that and purposely drove the price down. Again, not saying that that can actually happen, but manipulation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, liquidated. Because guess what? The exchanges make tons of money when liquidations happen. They make tons of money, especially on a 100x. Just like, yes, Jason, they can see They can see every trade, and they see that 100x, and they're like, "Hoo, let's go get that," right? Because if that 100x actually pays off, the exchange takes a hit. I'm just saying. You know, it's like playing against somebody in Texas Hold'em, and they can see all the cards and you can't. That's the game you're playing with leverage. So be careful out there. Be careful. Mars is tempted to buy more Doge. I just did. Phil says, long-term, what do you reckon for gains? Okay, we're going to talk about those long-term gains another day, all right? Today, I want to talk about what's going on now. And the theme of right now is, well, it's money, right? We're going to talk about money. So here we are at 7.5 cents, right? For Doge, 7.5 cents. This is $1, okay? You got $1 here. This dollar doesn't buy you very much today, right? 10 years ago, you could get a lot for $1. Even 5 years ago, you could go to like McDonald's and Burger King or somewhere, and you could get a burger for $1. Well, now, every once in a while, they do one of these specials, right? Where you can get something for $1. Wendy's used to have this big dollar menu thing. No more. No more. Dollar doesn't get you what it used to, right? So then we've got Dogecoin. Okay, so now you got Doge. Now, Doge today is worth 7.5 cents. Now, what I've spent Dogecoin on as currency before is like AMC movie tickets, like I see in the chat here. Mars bought some AMC stock, which is a good dip down to $7. Good for you. My average is like 9. So the news that AMC was going to dilute, just add more stock, was just ridiculous after what they just went through last month. Totally ridiculous. But that's the game you play when you when you buy those kinds of stocks. However, so I bought a bunch of Dogecoin at 2 cents. Now, when I went to see a movie this summer, I paid in Doge on the AMC app, right? I paid in Doge for my movie tickets, right? And Doge was 6 cents. So I look at that as like, I just got 2/3 off the price of those tickets because I bought the Doge at 2 cents, but I spent it, I used it at somewhere over 6 cents. And yeah, I have to pay a little tax on the profit of that. But overall, I got those movie tickets, what would normally be like $15, essentially for the equivalent of about 5 by using Doge. Now, if you see Doge's price today, 7.5 cents, let's say Doge goes up to 75 cents, its previous all-time high, right? 75 cents. And let's say it stays there. Let's say it becomes a stable coin, which it won't, but let's just say it does. For 10x, that means you've got 10x the buying power, let's say a year from now, because Doge went on a crazy run because of Elon Musk and Twitter, right? That means you have 10x the buying power using your Doge to actually buy things. That's what Dogecoin is about. You're not going to get 10x buying power with $1. You're actually going to get less because this is going to continue to deflate. The inflation is just going to continue to lower the value of this dollar bill. Inflation doesn't touch the cryptocurrency. The only thing that touches the cryptocurrency is its trading and price, what the value of this is. And the value of this is going to continue to go up with more acceptance and more use. And where is that acceptance and use maybe going to come from? Maybe X Twitter. I call it X Twitter. Everyone gets what that means. I call it X Twitter, but on X. Elon Musk's X with X payments. If that does actually happen, and Elon's saying, you don't even need a bank anymore. You don't even need a bank because you can do all of your transactions through the X app, just like you can in China on WeChat, because he uses WeChat and he knows how WeChat works in China. People do everything on WeChat, and they've got money on WeChat. So you can have money on X, but the money you have on X does not have to be $1. It may, I don't know how he's going to do it because again, X is international, right? And if it's international, then he's got like all these different world currencies that he's got to deal with. And he knows that, having been an owner of PayPal a number of years ago. And PayPal you couldn't use in many other countries because they weren't dealing with all these international currency laws. But if he uses cryptocurrency knows no international restrictions. It is what it is. It's the same price, regardless of where it is in the world. 1 Doge equals 1 Doge, remember? 1 Doge equals 1 Doge. So that's what I'm saying. I follow Mike Alfred on X Twitter, and here's what he said. And this was on Saturday. I was reading this. Roughly half of all treasuries outstanding today will mature by the end of 2025. Current average interest rate on the federal debt is 2.6%. Current prevailing interest rate is over 5%. If nothing changes, the U.S. government will be forced to refinance this debt at roughly double the current rate, taking interest expense from 14% of federal tax revenue to 29%. This is why I've been saying that the Fed's higher for longer mantra is a complete bluff. In other words, the Fed is saying they're not going to lower the lending rate, right? When we see like every month or every other month, Jerome Powell says, right, we're gonna keep it level, or we're still looking at increasing it in further months, not talking about decreases at all. What Mike is saying is that is a bluff. Other governments around the world are tripping over each other to cut rates and print money because they can see the writing on the wall. Rates will need to come down rapidly, or the US government would have to raise taxes and cut spending aggressively. But we all know that won't happen. Politicians are not going to run on a platform of raising taxes. That's not going to happen. They're also not going to cut their valuable spending bills. They want to spend more. So what does that mean? That means printing more money. And what happens when you print more money? The value goes down. The value goes down because the dollar bill really isn't traded, right? Now, Dogecoin does inflate as well, right? But the inflation of Dogecoin, again, is new Dogecoin being given out to miners who are validating transactions on the blockchain. That's the security of the Dogecoin blockchain, is run by that. So it's kind of like a fee. This is what the fee is to keep Dogecoin safe and secure as a proof of work cryptocurrency. Because of that, people like Dogecoin. They will continue to invest in Dogecoin, and the price of Dogecoin is going to go up, regardless of the inflation of how many Doge there are. But you say, well, Kriss, what about Bitcoin? Well, what about Bitcoin? Bitcoin is now $36,500 for a Bitcoin. Who is using Bitcoin to buy things as a currency? I guess there are some people using Lightning Network of some sort, but Bitcoin, it's a small percentage. Again, like 86% of all the Bitcoin has not moved in the last 3 months. 86% of the overall circulating supply of Bitcoin has not moved in the last 3 months. So there's no like big purchases. It's not being used as a currency. People don't want to sell their Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the store of value, right? It's the gold. Like people don't buy things with gold, right? People buy things with dollars, right? Or whatever your country's currency is. That's the equivalent of Doge. That's why I'm doing that comparison here, right? That's what that is. This is going to inflate away to nothing. But Doge is going to go up. And the Doge you buy today is going to give you extra buying power in the future. Here's my example. Let's look at the Tesla merch store, right? Now, the Tesla merch store. Now, they used to have a few other things you could buy with Dogecoin. But now, the only thing they still have here is this cyber whistle, right? So they've got this cyber whistle here. And you can see what the price is, right? It's 1,000 Dogecoin for that cyber whistle. Unfortunately, it's out of stock. But I have my cyber whistle right here that I bought. And I bought the cyber whistle about 1.5 years ago. At the time I bought this cyber whistle, the price of Dogecoin was about 16 cents. Right? 16 cents for a Doge. But I bought that Dogecoin at 2 cents. Right? So I had 8 times the buying power of that Dogecoin. It didn't cost me 1,000 Doge to buy the cyber whistle when I bought it just about 1.5 years ago. The price was only 355 Doge. So I bought the cyber whistle when Doge was up at 16 cents, using Doge that I bought for 2 cents a Doge to get this. Now, the cost of this has gone up because the price of Doge has gone down. So Doge now 7 cents. It's 1,000 Doge to buy the cyber whistle. When eventually Dogecoin starts going back up because of the trading, right, of Dogecoin, because of the utility and the demand for Dogecoin, Tesla will lower this price on the Tesla merch store for the cyber whistle, and the price will come back down. That's what's going to happen. But I got this cyber whistle essentially for 8 times less than what their price is because of the power of Dogecoin. You buy low and then you use it when it's high. Yes, you have to pay some tax on the gain in the price. Yes. But it far outweighs, or the gain you get, the power you get far outweighs that tax, right? So, because for that cyber whistle, right, I had 800% gain on the price of that Dogecoin, 800%. And I have to pay like a 28% tax, let's say, for a capital gain. So I ended up with a 770, right, percent gain overall for that Doge. That's a pretty good bet. I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to take that. That's the power of Dogecoin. So, crypto is eyeing historic move as tons of new liquidity return to the market. Bitcoin spot ETFs are coming. It could be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. Something like that could happen, but we don't know. I kind of think what Jason was suggesting earlier is once those Bitcoin spot ETFs get approved, there's going to be a lot of new liquidity coming into the crypto market. And that's what this article is saying as well, which is going to not only help Bitcoin, but all the other cryptos are going to go to. It's just going to happen. Again, there could be some, sell the news kind of event that happens, but overall, it's going to keep going up. So Dogecoin price struggles to keep up with altcoin rally. Has Elon Musk abandoned Dogecoin? No, he hasn't. It's coming. It's going to take a while. Will Dogecoin and SHIB surpass expectations with a pre-2024 rally? Right now, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing a big run up in the price in 2023. I think 2024 is going to be huge for Doge and SHIB, and for us to be patient, relax. If you want to swing trade it a little bit, you take that chance. I'm not. I'm just continuing to accumulate. I've got a SHIB bag. I'm waiting. When SHIB goes on its run, which eventually it will, I'm going to sell all my SHIB, be out of the SHIB game, and rotate it back into Doge or another cryptocurrency, depending on whatever's going on at that time. That's my plan for SHIB. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. Dogecoin, do the risks outweigh the rewards? Well, what's the risk, right? We could have Doge drop down, lower price. Will Dogecoin ever recover back to 7 cents, 8 cents, 10 cents? What do you guys think? I kind of think still 4-year cycles, prices are going to go back up. We're going to be in profit. That's going to happen. So this was from back in August. Dogecoin surges in price. This was a run we had back in August as Twitter obtains license required for virtual currency. So Twitter has been going state by state by state to get the proper licenses they need to be able to have Dogecoin as currency. Now, they just say virtual currency. They don't talk specifically about Dogecoin, but if you saw the short that I made yesterday on YouTube, you should check out my short. And that is just about all the times. There have been few others, but the times that Elon has tweeted or posted on the Twitter platform about Doge. And it's a fun one. It's a fun one to watch because it's amazing how many times he has talked about Dogecoin. So check that out. Will Dogecoin be the currency of Twitter? This was back in April, before the name was changed to X. It was already being talked about, Dogecoin being the currency of Twitter. This is Doge as a currency, the use of Doge. 2 weeks ago, Elon said that he would be surprised if a year from now, they didn't have payments activated on the X platform. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. That's what we're waiting for. Pay with Dogecoin, a beginner's guide on how to use Doge as a payment method. And this was a Cointelegraph article from a while ago. I don't remember the exact date on this, but it kind of talks about Doge as its use case, as utility, as currency. Again, as I've said before, you read the Bitcoin white paper, and what was it? Peer-to-peer e-cash, electronic cash. That's what Bitcoin was meant to be. However, Bitcoin is no longer thought of that. It's now thought of as the electronic store of value, the digital gold. People don't want to spend their Bitcoin. So you read that Bitcoin white paper, substitute the word Dogecoin for Bitcoin, and except for the so-called tokenomics, where there's a hard cap on the number of Bitcoin, Dogecoin will continue to be given out as rewards to miners securing the network, securing the blockchain. Because we don't know what's going to happen to Bitcoin when there's no more Bitcoin to give in 100 years, right? There's no more mining of Bitcoin. There's going to be some node thing. I don't know how they get rewarded because there's no more Bitcoin being minted for that. I don't know what happens then, but Doge just keeps doing its Doge thing. And actually, the percentage on a yearly basis of the number of new Doge that comes out compared to the rest of the Doge gets smaller and smaller and smaller every year because it's a fixed number of Doge. Who accepts Dogecoin? There's this one site called Crypto Emporium. I don't know anything about this. I don't know who actually runs the Crypto Emporium, but it's kind of fun to see like all of these things priced in Dogecoin. It has other cryptocurrencies too that you can pay in, but you can pay in Doge. It's like you can get this Rolex for 365,000 Dogecoin. It's like, it's just kind of interesting. It's like all these prices in Doge. Got this sale going on. You could buy a 2018 Mercedes-Benz for 1.4 million Doge. I don't know what the math is on that. I didn't figure it out, but it's kind of fun to see like all these watches all in Doge prices. I think they're in like Estonia or something though. So I don't know if I could trust them that you really get what you pay for, but there's this Cryptwork, which has this Dogecoin directory, which lists like all of these different smaller companies that accept Dogecoin. Some of these are rather old and may not actually still be in business, but there are a lot of companies that accept Dogecoin. I see some questions about Grock. So I did have an article on this because I was expecting it. Everyone's asking about Grock. We now have the Grock token to cash in on growing popularity of xAI's Grock LLM, the language learning model. Here's what I say about Grock. It's a token, right? It's a token created by someone who has created many tokens in the past that have mostly all become rug pulls. So could this one become a Pepe or a Sheeb, which are two of probably the most well-known tokens that have actually traded up to a level and got enough support where the owners decided not to rug them and to live off essentially taking profits off the liquidity and the trading as opposed to rugging the thing? We don't know. That's a gamble you have to take. I'm not touching it. I'm out of the token game. Could I be leaving money on the, a chance for making a lot of money on the side? Possibly. But that I'm not playing that game. I'm doing enough risk-wise for me with other cryptocurrencies and what I've invested in. Like I said earlier in the stream, these 4-year cycles. That's risky enough for me. I'm not chasing any of these tokens, particularly when you don't know who created it, right? You can go on X Twitter and Reddit and you can find out and the different projects that developer has been involved in before and what's become of those projects. That's the research you should do. Who's the lead dev? What has he done before? And if any of those other projects were successful, hey, maybe you have a little better shot of some long-term value. But for now, if you want to gamble, get in and get out, it's already too late, I think. There's already been a big increase in price. I'm just saying. That's how these tokens really work. So I'm not touching it. It has nothing to do with Elon Musk. It has nothing to do with xAI. It has nothing to do with Grock. It's just some guy in his basement who's been minting these tokens and taking profits. That's all it is. I don't give it much of a chance. Again, could it become a Pepe or a Sheeb? Maybe. It all depends on the guy and whether he wants to take that chance of whether it's going to get enough trading going on, get enough big whales behind it. They're going to pump the price up even higher and keep it up. That's what happened with Sheeb. Eventually, SHIB traded way down in the bear market, just like Doge did. But SHIB already had enough support and momentum behind it that it stayed a top 20 cryptocurrency. Whether Pepe comes back and has enough support, I don't know. We'll see. But that's my take on Grock, since you asked. And Mars also reminds people to hit the like. I always appreciate that. And also subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And for those that want to become members and use fun things in the chat, like we have, again, we just added the Elon Musk. We've got different Doge logos, fun things in the chat. You can post those if you become a member. And then when you become a member, you get to take part in the profits of our portfolio, which we talk about on many streams. Not going to get into the detail of tonight. Those are usually our Friday talks. We dive in deeper into our portfolio and how things are going. But right now, it's still up 25%. And that's just in a couple months. And we're up 25%. And we haven't even begun the big bull market yet. I can't wait. So that's overall what I wanted to talk about in terms of Doge, again, as currency. And what I think Dogecoin can really become. Whether Elon is able to execute Doge across the X Twitter platform, that would be awesome. I think if he can get the wallets all worked out, or some way to do the sort of internal transfers so people can pay, one person to another, as well as deposit Doge and then be able to withdraw Doge. I mean, it would be very similar to like a Robinhood app, but you just wouldn't have the trading. Now, maybe he adds trading too sometime. And I mean, who knows, right? If he wants everyone to live on his app, who knows? And he's got some pretty smart engineers working for him. So we'll see about that. Anyway, do your research on Grock, definitely. And good luck if you get into it. Again, a lot of people made a lot of money on SHIB. A lot of people made a lot of money on Pepe, but generally those were the ones who got in before anyone else knew about it. And they were taking a big risk there, putting a lot of money into something, not knowing if it was going to be the one that might take off. For every SHIB and Pepe there's hundreds, thousands of others that don't make it and you lose. So be careful. With Doge, I got a good feeling about Doge. I don't know about you, but I got a good feeling about Doge. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I'm buying more Doge. Again, give the stream a like. If you're watching this on the video replay, give that a like as well. Leave a comment. If you want to leave a comment, always open to that. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Appreciate the support. We'll see you next time. Let me get to my closeout, and I'll be doing a video tomorrow. I'll be live again Wednesday at 5. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.